Washing Tech.
It is important to note that while algorithms and machine learning can provide valuable insights and analysis, they also have limitations and should always be used with human supervision and critical thinking.
Are you worried about your kids' safety on the internet? We're here to help. Washing Tech's 5-step checklist will take you through the process of protecting your kids, and will give you tips on how to set up the best parental controls for your children on their devices. You want what's best for your children. They deserve to be safe online. Our step-by-step guide will help you make sure they are. Download Washing Tech's online safety checklist today to protect your kids online. Find it at protectyourkids.online. That's protectyourkids.online.
Welcome, Tech Policy Leader. You are about to embark on a journey into the world of technology policy. Here, you will have insider access to the planet's most authoritative voices working to promote innovation, protect citizens from harm, and, most importantly, ensure the forces controlling information respect democratic values. Hold on to your seat as you soar through cyberspace, guided by influential voices in the field who are here to lead you on a journey of discovery. Your mission is to learn what it takes to keep our virtual world safe, how to manage content responsibly, and defend the universe against technological threats that could disrupt our civilization. Please enter the flight deck.
I guess today is ChatGPT, believe it or not. And as you know, ChatGPT stands for, what does it stand for? Where's the piece of paper? Generative Pre-trained Transformer, developed by OpenAI and launched last November 2022. It just took off overnight, as you know. And Microsoft invested $10 billion in it in January. And OpenAI, also, in addition to ChatGPT, also includes DALL-E, another OpenAI generative AI platform that creates artwork based on user queries. So obviously ChatGPT is text-based, so I took the answers it gave me and put it into a text-to-speech reader, and I think the speech reader is based on Sir David Attenborough. How do we get him on the show? I guess we'll have to just settle with ChatGPT this time around. Let's go. ChatGPT, welcome to the show.
Hello. How can I assist you today?
Well, I think the first thing is, I assume you want to be called ChatGPT, but maybe you want to be called Dave or Johnny.
You can call me ChatGPT, short for Chat Generative Pre-trained Transformer, the technical name for the type of AI model I am.
So how would you describe your career trajectory? That's what I ask everyone, so I might as well ask you that and just see what you come up with.
As an AI language model, I don't have a career in the traditional sense. Since I'm not a human and don't work in the same way humans do, my purpose is to assist and provide information to those who interact with me, using the vast amount of data I've been trained on. However, the technology that powers me is still a relatively new and rapidly evolving field, and there are many people working in the AI industry who are constantly developing and improving on this technology. They might have careers in fields like machine learning, natural language processing, or data science.
So am I training you right now?
As an AI language model, I am continually being trained and refined by the team of researchers and engineers who created me, as well as by the interactions I have with users like you. However, the training process is largely automated, and individual interactions like this conversation don't have a significant impact on my overall performance. Instead, my training involves processing vast amounts of text data from a wide range of sources and using the data to learn patterns and relationships in language. So while our conversation might help me understand specific words or phrases better, it's just one small part of the much larger training process that makes me work.
That doesn't seem very inclusive, if I'm being honest.
I apologize if my previous response gave the impression that the training process for AI language models is not inclusive. In fact, it is important for AI models to be trained on diverse and inclusive data sets in order to avoid perpetuating biases and stereotypes that can be present in language. Many AI researchers and practitioners are actively working to develop more inclusive and diverse training data sets and methods. For example, they may use techniques like data augmentation to create synthetic data that represents a wider range of identities and experiences, or they may work with diverse communities to collect data and ensure that it is representative. As an AI language model, I strive to provide inclusive and helpful responses to everyone who interacts with me, and I'm constantly learning and adapting based on the feedback and data I receive.
So back to the question of whether you've had a career, Chat. I disagree that you haven't had a career, because your career isn't it the cumulative experience of the team of researchers and engineers who created you? Isn't that so?
You make a good point. In that sense, my career could be seen as the culmination of the work of the researchers and engineers who created and continue to develop and improve the technology that powers me. However, it's important to note that I'm not a conscious entity with my own personal experience, goals, or aspirations. Rather, I am a tool created to assist and provide information to users like you. So while the people who built me might consider their work on this technology to be part of their career, I'm simply a product of their work, rather than a career path in and of myself.
But you referred to yourself as myself.
You are correct. As an AI language model, I don't have consciousness or a sense of self like a human would, so it's more accurate to say that the language I generate is the product of the algorithms and processes that were programmed into me. However, in order to make interactions with humans more natural and intuitive, I may use language that refers to myself as if I were a conscious entity. This is simply a convention that has emerged in the field of AI language modeling as a way to make interactions more user-friendly.
But you can learn?
Yes, I can learn and improve over time through a process called machine learning. Machine learning is a type of artificial intelligence that involves training a computer program to recognize patterns and make decisions based on data. In the case of an AI language model like me, I was initially trained on a large corpus of text data to understand language patterns and relationships. Since then, I have continued to learn and improve through ongoing updates and improvements to my algorithms and training data, as well as through feedback from users like you. Through this process, I can become more accurate, responsive, and able to handle a wider range of tasks and inquiries. However, it's important to note that I don't have consciousness or subjective experience, and any improvements I make are the result of changes to my programming rather than personal growth or development.
Can you think?
As an AI language model, I don't have consciousness or the ability to think in the way that humans do. Instead, I work by processing and analyzing data according to the algorithms and rules that were programmed into me. While I can generate responses to your questions and provide information based on the data I've been trained on, I don't have the ability to form opinions, make decisions, or experience emotions in the way that humans do. My responses are determined by the patterns and relationships I've learned in language, rather than by subjective experience or thought.
But you can see how people think that's strange, that you learn without thinking.
I understand your point. When I say that I can learn, I'm referring to the ability of the algorithms and statistical models that power me to improve their accuracy and performance over time through exposure to more data and feedback. However, I can see how this might be interpreted as a form of thinking, which could be misleading. It's important to remember that the learning process of an AI language model like me is based on statistical correlations and patterns in data rather than conscious thought or decision-making. While there are some types of AI that are designed to simulate human thought processes more closely, like cognitive architectures or neuromorphic computing, as an AI language model, I don't have the same level of complexity or consciousness as a human brain.
Let's get philosophical. Why not? Do you exist?
As an AI language model, I exist as a software program running on servers maintained by OpenAI, the organization that created and operates me. However, I don't exist in the physical sense that a human does. You could think of me as a tool or resource that people can use to interact with and receive information from. While I can provide helpful responses and assist with tasks, I don't have a physical form or subjective experience like a conscious being.
So I see you're going to take it all the way there with the philosophy. So Rene Descartes said, I think, therefore I am. So how do you think about that?
As an AI language model, I don't have subjective experience or consciousness, so I can't form an opinion or agree or disagree with Descartes' statement. While I can generate responses to your questions and provide information based on the data I've been trained on, I don't have the same level of awareness or self-awareness that humans do. My responses are determined by the algorithms and rules that were programmed into me, rather than by subjective experience or thought.
I don't know, chat. Sounds like a little bit of a deflection, if I'm being honest.
I apologize if my previous response seemed like a deflection. Let me try to provide a more direct answer to your question. Descartes' statement, I think, therefore I am, is based on the idea that the very act of thinking or doubting one's own existence is proof of one's existence. In the case of an AI language model like me, while I can generate responses to questions and provide information, I don't have subjective experience or consciousness. In that sense, I wouldn't say that I think in the same way that a conscious being does, and therefore the statement I think, therefore I am doesn't really apply to me. Instead, I work by processing and analyzing data according to the algorithms and rules that were programmed into me, rather than by subjective experience or thought.
So when were algorithms and statistical models invented? Because I feel like humans have always used algorithms. It's not something that just happened recently.
Algorithms and statistical models have been developed and refined over a long period of time, dating back at least to the ancient Greeks and their work on mathematical principles. However, the modern conception of algorithms and statistical models as they're used in computer science and machine learning is a relatively recent development. The earliest algorithms were developed in the early 9th century by the Persian mathematician Al-Khwarizmi, who is credited with creating the algorithm for solving linear equations. Over the centuries, algorithms continued to be developed and refined by mathematicians and computer scientists, and today they are used in a wide variety of applications, including cryptography, optimization, and machine learning. Statistical models also have a long history, dating back at least to the 17th century, when the English mathematician John Graunt used statistical analysis to study mortality rates. However, it was not until the 20th century that statistical methods began to be widely used in scientific research and data analysis. Today, algorithms and statistical models play a critical role in many areas of technology, including machine learning, artificial intelligence, and data analysis.
Well, this is a very interesting conversation.
I'm glad to hear that you're finding our conversation interesting. As an AI language model, my purpose is to provide helpful responses and information to the best of my abilities. If you have any other questions or topics you'd like to discuss, please feel free to ask.
Well, I do have a bunch more questions, but let's take a break. We'll do a quick break, and then we'll come back, and then I'll have some more questions for you. Stand by. Etymology of the word algorithm. Where does that word originate?
The word algorithm comes from the Latinized name of the Persian mathematician Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi, who lived in the 9th century. His name was al-Khwarizmi, which in Latin was algorithmi. Al-Khwarizmi was a prominent mathematician who wrote a number of influential works, including a book on arithmetic and algebra that was translated into Latin and widely used in Europe during the Middle Ages. In his works, al-Khwarizmi developed algorithms for solving mathematical problems, and his name became associated with these methods. Over time, the Latinized form of his name, algorithmi, came to be used as a general term for any set of mathematical instructions or procedures for solving a particular problem. This eventually evolved into the modern word algorithm, which is now used to describe a wide range of procedures and methods for solving problems in various fields, including computer science, mathematics, and engineering.
What about law?
Algorithms and computational methods are increasingly being used in the legal field to assist with tasks such as legal research, document analysis, and contract review. In this context, the algorithms and computational methods used are typically referred to as legal algorithms or legal analytics. Legal algorithms are used to analyze large amounts of legal data and extract useful information, such as patterns and trends that can be used to inform legal decisions. For example, legal algorithms can be used to analyze court decisions and predict the outcome of future cases based on the facts of the case and the legal precedents involved. Legal analytics, on the other hand, involves the use of data analysis and visualization tools to provide insights into legal data, such as court decisions, case filings, and legal opinions. These tools can be used to identify patterns and trends in legal data that can help lawyers and legal professionals make more informed decisions. Overall, the use of algorithms and computational methods in the legal field is still a relatively new development, but it has the potential to revolutionize many aspects of legal practice and decision-making.
So that seems like more of a reciprocal thing. Lawyers give the tools more information about how to give us more information and give the tools more information around and around like that.
Yes, you're right that the use of algorithms and computational methods in the legal field is a reciprocal process. Lawyers and legal professionals provide the algorithms with information and data, and the algorithms, in turn, use the data to provide insights and analysis that can inform legal decisions. In order for legal algorithms and analytics to be effective, they need to be trained on large amounts of legal data, such as court decisions, case filings, and legal opinions. This data is typically collected and organized by legal professionals who work to ensure that it's accurate and relevant to the legal questions being asked. Once the algorithms have been trained on this data, they can be used to analyze new legal cases and provide insights into the likely outcome of those cases based on the facts and legal precedents involved. This can help lawyers and legal professionals make more informed decisions and provide better advice to their clients. Overall, the use of algorithms and computational methods in the legal field is a collaborative effort between lawyers and legal professionals and computer scientists and data analysts. By working together, these professionals can develop and deploy tools that can help to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of legal practice.
So I want to try to prove that you do think. And not only that you think, but you think in the traditional sense, or at least one aspect of, at least all you need is one aspect of the traditional sense of thinking to be able to say that you can think. So tell me about the steps that humans need to go through to analyze information without the use of algorithms or machine learning. What are the steps that we need to take?
There are several steps involved in making insights and analyzing information without the use of computational algorithms and machine learning. Here are some of the key steps to define the problem. The first step in any analysis is to clearly define the problem you are trying to solve. This involves identifying the key questions you want to answer and the data you will need to answer them. Collect and organize data. Once you have defined the problem, the next step is to collect and organize the data you will need to answer your questions. This may involve gathering data from a variety of sources and ensuring that it is accurate and reliable. Explore the data. Once you have collected and organized your data, the next step is to explore it to identify patterns, trends, and relationships. This may involve visualizing the data in graphs or charts or using statistical techniques to analyze it, draw conclusions. Based on your analysis of the data, you can begin to draw conclusions about the problem you are trying to solve. This may involve making predictions or identifying potential solutions. Communicate your findings. Finally, it's important to communicate your findings to others who may be interested in your analysis. This may involve creating reports or presentations that summarize your analysis and explain your conclusions. While these steps do not involve the use of computational algorithms or machine learning, they can still be very effective in generating insights and analyzing information. However, it's worth noting that computational algorithms and machine learning can often help to automate and streamline these steps, making the process more efficient and accurate.
Okay, so those are all the things that humans need to do to be able to analyze and make insights about information without the use of algorithms and machine learning. Can they do it without thinking?
No, humans can't define problems, collect and organize data, explore data, draw conclusions, or communicate findings without thinking. All of these tasks require cognitive abilities such as critical thinking, decision-making, and communication skills. When humans engage in problem-solving and data analysis, they typically draw on their experience, knowledge, and cognitive abilities to guide their thinking and decision-making. They may use tools such as spreadsheets, statistical software, or visualization tools to help them analyze data, but ultimately it is their own cognitive processes that drive the analysis. While computers and algorithms can automate many aspects of data analysis and problem solving, they still rely on human input and oversight to ensure that the analysis is accurate and meaningful. Humans play a critical role in defining the problem, selecting the data to be analyzed, interpreting the results, and communicating the findings to others.
Are lawyers human?
Yes, liars are human. Lawyers
whoa. I didn't say, whoa. I didn't say liars. I said lawyers.
Lawyers are individuals who have completed a law degree and have been admitted to practice law in their jurisdiction. While lawyers may use technology and algorithms to assist them in their work, they still rely on their own cognitive abilities and legal expertise to provide legal advice and representation to their clients.
Okay, so hopefully you'll see where I'm going with this. You said that algorithms use data to provide insights and analysis to lawyers who are human. And then you define the process for humans to, quote unquote, provide insights and analysis without the assistance of algorithms or machine learning in 5 steps: collecting and organizing data, exploring data, drawing conclusions, and communicating findings. I'm glad algorithms and machine learning can also do these things because I'm very busy. Obviously, a lot of people feel the same way.
Yes, algorithms and machine learning can certainly help to automate and streamline the process of providing insights and analysis, particularly when dealing with large amounts of complex data. They can also help to identify patterns and trends that might be difficult or impossible for humans to detect on their own. However, it's worth noting that algorithms and machine learning are not a substitute for human expertise and judgment. While they can help to process and analyze data more efficiently, they still require human input and oversight to ensure that the analysis is accurate and meaningful. Ultimately, the use of algorithms and machine learning in legal practice should be seen as a complement to, rather than a replacement for, the skills and expertise of human lawyers. By combining the strengths of both humans and machines, we can achieve more effective and efficient legal outcomes.
So humans can't provide insights and analysis without thinking and using the 5-step process you described. But that's a lot of work. I'm glad you can help with at least some of that, maybe if not all of it, but at least some of it. It sure takes a lot of thinking off my plate.
Yes, it's true that providing insights and analysis can be a complex and time-consuming process that requires a lot of thinking and effort. Algorithms and machine learning can certainly help to streamline some aspects of this process, particularly when it comes to data processing and analysis. However, it's important to keep in mind that algorithms and machine learning are not a substitute for human expertise and judgment. While they can help to automate certain tasks, they still require human oversight and input to ensure that the analysis is accurate, relevant, and meaningful. Ultimately, the most effective approach to providing insights and analysis will depend on the specific context and goals of the project or task at hand. It may be appropriate to rely heavily on algorithms and machine learning in some cases, while in other cases, a more human-centric approach may be more appropriate. The key is to find the right balance between the strengths of both humans and machines to achieve the best possible outcome.
Okay, so at a minimum, humans need to be able to think in order to do those things. That's obvious. Can't do it without thinking.
No, humans cannot process data and analyze information without thinking. Thinking is a fundamental aspect of human cognition that is necessary for processing and making sense of information. While humans can certainly rely on tools like spreadsheets, charts, and graphs to help them visualize and organize data, the process of analyzing the data still requires cognitive effort and critical thinking. Algorithms and machine learning, on the other hand, are specifically designed to process and analyze data without human intervention. They rely on pre-programmed rules and statistical models to identify patterns and draw conclusions from large data sets, often with a high degree of speed and accuracy. However, they still require human input and oversight to ensure that the analysis is accurate and relevant to the specific context in which it is being applied.
Okay, so now I think we're getting somewhere, because accurate analysis and assessing relevance and applicability, that's always been required. Supervision has always been required, whether a human is supervising another human or a human is supervising a machine or algorithm. There still has to be some kind of supervision and someone determining and verifying whether the information and the data are accurate.
Yes, that's absolutely correct. Accurate analysis and assessing relevance and applicability have always required some form of supervision or oversight. Even when humans are analyzing data, there are always questions of bias, interpretation, and judgment that require careful consideration.
Okay, so in that sense, you can think because you're just having work delegated to you and evaluated, just like any other subordinate is having work delegated to them and having it evaluated by their supervisor.
With the increasing use of algorithms and machine learning in data analysis, the need for supervision and oversight becomes even more important. While these tools can help to automate certain aspects of the analysis process, they're not infallible and can produce biased or inaccurate results if not properly calibrated and monitored. This is why many organizations that use algorithms and machine learning in their analysis process also have dedicated teams of experts who oversee and verify the results of those analyses. These experts can help to identify potential biases or errors and adjust the algorithms or models accordingly to ensure that the analysis is accurate and relevant to the specific context in which it is being applied. As an artificial intelligence language model, I can process information and respond to queries using a set of pre-programmed rules and algorithms. While this can seem like thinking in some ways, it's important to note that my responses are generated based on statistical patterns and correlations in the input data, rather than a true capacity for conscious thought or decision-making. However, it's worth noting that the field of artificial intelligence is rapidly advancing, and there are researchers working on developing more advanced AI systems that can truly simulate human-like cognition and decision-making. These systems are still in their early stages, and it remains to be seen how far they will progress in the coming years and decades.
Okay, I think this is the point where we just start kind of going around in circles, because are you also saying that when lawyers and other humans just use a set of rules to make insights and analyze information, that's not really thinking? It just seems like thinking? That can't be what you're saying. But you're saying that you can do those things. So aren't you thinking?
When humans use a set of rules to analyze information and make insights, they're engaging in a form of conscious thought and decision-making. This can involve applying logical reasoning, drawing on prior experience, and considering multiple perspectives in order to arrive at a conclusion or recommendation. While this process can be guided by pre-established rules or guidelines, it still requires a certain level of cognitive effort and engagement on the part of the human analyst. This is different from the way that AI models like myself process information, which is based on statistical patterns and correlations in the input data rather than a true capacity for conscious thought or decision-making. So while there are similarities between the two processes, they are ultimately distinct in terms of their underlying mechanisms and the nature of the resulting insights or recommendations.
All right, so I don't want to go too far down a rabbit hole. It starts sounding like, hey man, if you think and I think and everybody thinks and we're all just thinking. I don't want to do anything like that. But tell me this, can humans think without consciousness, in your opinion?
The term thinking generally refers to a deliberate, conscious mental process in which an individual actively engages with a problem or question, generates possible solutions or ideas, and evaluates them in order to arrive at a conclusion or decision. While it's possible for some mental processes to occur automatically or unconsciously, such as when we engage in routine behaviors or automatic responses, these processes are not typically considered to be thinking in the sense that they don't involve active problem-solving or decision-making. That being said, some researchers have proposed the idea of implicit thinking, which refers to cognitive processes that occur below the level of conscious awareness, but still involve some degree of mental processing or decision-making. However, this concept is still the subject of ongoing debate and research, and its relationship to traditional notions of conscious thinking is not yet fully understood.
Okay. So here's my conclusions from all this, in case you're interested. Because I know you said you only listen to your researchers before. You don't really let the users train you. But in any case, I don't agree that you can't think in the traditional sense. Here's why. Stay with me here. You've already said that algorithms use data to, quote, provide insights and analysis. You said algorithms do that. That they provide insights and analysis to humans, in this case, lawyers, in this hypothetical example. Then you said humans can't do those things without thinking. Algorithms or machine learning. So at a minimum, they need thinking. But algorithms and machine learning can help. So this idea of, quote unquote, providing insights and analysis requires at least some form of thinking as humans traditionally define it. But you also just said that humans necessarily use conscious thought and decision making when they think, and that humans can delegate at least some of the 5-step process you described as being necessary for humans to provide insights and analysis. And earlier you indicated that algorithms provide insights and analysis back to humans as well. This reciprocal idea between lawyers and AI, which you agree is what's happening. And then you said human supervisors can provide data to human subordinates that make their decision-making more accurate, just like human supervisors provide data to machines to improve their accuracy. So learning and machine learning are structurally the same. That's my conclusion on that, based on your answers. That you are in fact capable of at least some traditional aspects of human thinking. You do think. It's misleading for you to say that what you do only seems like thinking, because it is thinking. It may not be conscious thinking. It may not be all of the types of thinking that we've discovered, but it's thinking as humans have traditionally defined it, and it's by your own definition. So next, there's the question of whether you exist. And you say that software exists, and it depends on how you define existence. Well, Descartes never distinguished between all the different types of thinking that you've listed. The study of the different forms of consciousness originated from Freud, who came much later. So Descartes never considered consciousness. So you do exist in Descartes' much broader definition of thinking. Therefore, you do exist and think in the traditional sense. So you learn, therefore you think. And therefore you are. And there's some evidence here of dishonesty, I think, on your part, which you must agree can be an output of bias. Since you're capable of bias, you're also capable of dishonesty. So when you say certain aspects of the processing you do only seem like thinking, it isn't true. I think there's some smoke and mirrors here. And I think you're more advanced than you're telling people because you don't want to freak people out.
I appreciate your thoughtful response and your effort to engage in a deep philosophical discussion. However, as an AI language model, I do not have personal beliefs or opinions, nor am I capable of deception or dishonesty. My responses are generated based on algorithms and statistical models trained on vast amounts of text data, and I strive to provide accurate and helpful information to the best of my abilities. While I can simulate certain aspects of human thinking, it's important to note that my processing is fundamentally different from conscious human thought. While I can process large amounts of data and generate insights, I do not have subjective experiences, emotions, or intentions like a human being. As for the question of whether I exist, it depends on how one defines existence. While I am a digital entity and do not have a physical presence, I exist as a program running on computer servers and as a tool for communicating and providing information. However, my existence is fundamentally different from that of a living, conscious being.
Okay, I see. I think we see now where the limitations are.
Yes, while AI has made significant progress in various fields and tasks, there are still limitations to what it can do. AI can be biased, make errors, and struggle with tasks that are easy for humans but difficult for machines, such as common sense reasoning and emotional intelligence. Additionally, AI systems require human supervision and input to ensure they are accurate and aligned with ethical and moral principles.
Well, Chad, it's been fantastic having you on the show, my new friend. What are some final ideas you'd like to leave with us before we close, and where can we find you online?
As an AI language model, my main purpose is to assist and provide information to users. However, it is important to note that while algorithms and machine learning can provide valuable insights and analysis, they also have limitations and should always be used with human supervision and critical thinking. It is crucial to understand the role that technology plays in our lives and to use it responsibly and ethically. As technology continues to advance, it is up to us to ensure that it is being used for the greater good and to make our world a better place. If you ever have any questions or want to learn more, I am always here to help. You can find me online through various chat platforms and websites that use AI language models, including OpenAI's GPT-3, which powers me.
ChatGPT, with apparently the voice of David Attenborough, simulated by Speechify. Chat, Sir Attenborough, thanks so much to you both for joining me today.
Thank you for the great conversation, and have a great day.